Okay, in this video, for explaining the rules of cockroaches, copper and cows, I'm going to look at the game components. Every Mexican general stroke politician player will have a badge like this one, which shows their support. Support is a combination of their military strength and their political support. It ranges from 0 to 12, as you can see on the track, marked by a paperclip. So Pancho Villa here has 4 support. It's a logarithmic scale, so each subsequent point is meant to be worth more than the previous one, and which is kind of just to represent the fact that the armies went from being tiny to being quite big. And it's a key function in the game, so it's important to keep it good. Every general will have a base of operations, which will live somewhere on the map. So this is Villa's base. It says support D6, which is used for defending it if it gets attacked, and he chooses not to defend it with his field forces, which is represented by him. It lives in one of these boxes on the map. That's the base on it, and Villa. As well as that, he will have Villa or whoever it is, he or she, will have 4 garrison markers, which are control markers effectively, but they also have a little bit of defensive strength, well, same defensive strength as everything else, D6 support, and a number of brigades, which also have a D6 support. Brigades are just bigger counters with black rims, and they represent a detachment of some strength to supplement the defence of an area. Counters are only ever used defensively, you can't attack with them, but you can use your counters instead of your field forces if you want to defend. It lets you bolster your defences in a wider area. Because the war was very much about personal leadership and the characters involved were very important, the armies eventually all end up named after their leaders and so on, then your personal influence is a key factor. But it only goes so far, so you have a limited number of counters, and if you want to have a bigger influence than that, you need to do a deal with other players, because you've run out of suitable lowly lackeys and you need to have a more senior lackey like one of the other players. So that's why I have a limited number of counters. Federales, here's a federale, that's a regiment, as it clearly says in red in the middle there, but they only have one kind of counter and it's a regiment, so it shouldn't be too confusing. They have regiments, they do the same job as garrisons and brigades put together because they generate them in a different way, so it's easy just to have one kind of counter. And they are basically federal control markers or boost federal garrisons. As well as these counters, we have money, which is this Tiddlywink selection here. Money is denominated in US dollars because you need hard currency. That's because pesos don't work very much when you're buying arms on the international arms markets. Gold ones are worth $10 and $50, and most all game functions are denominated in multiples of 10. Silver ones are worth $1 for the small ones and 5 for the larger ones, so it's 1, 5, 10, 50, and they're there to make change really. There will also be notes for bigger denominations if we need them. Each game dollar is about 5,000 US dollars or 1,000 British pounds of the time, which is a substantial amount of money. The other kind of counters we have are up here, these cubes and orange tiddlywinks. These cubes always stay on the map, unlike money, which you can do what you like with. Black cubes are munitions, which represent a bunch of guns and ammunition, and are very important to waging effective warfare. Discs are always 3, so that's 3 ammunition, and that's 3 white cubes. And these are bought from overseas. White cubes are fatigue markers. Every time you act on the map, you add a fatigue marker, which increases the cost of future action, so it slows down your rate of activity. White ones are 3s again. Brown cubes or any other coloured cubes are goods which are produced by industries on the map. It doesn't matter what colour they are, as long as it's not black or white. But they're just produced on the map. You can then try to ship them abroad to sell them for high export values, or you can sell them locally for lower domestic prices. And the final marker there is an orange tiddlywink, which is a wealth marker, which will sit in a city and increase the amount of value you're allowed to extort out of the city if you ever loot it. You take loot action to persuade people to give you money and loans and pay them in Villa Easter pesos. Okay, that's all the components in the game, so I'll leave this one now.